person. All right, guys. So unfortunately, we were not able to stream live on Facebook, but we are here for Mindset Monday mentoring. And thank you to Samala for the recording idea. I appreciate it. Why are we here? What are we doing? Mindset is everything. Mindset will either make us or mindset will break us. Okay. And I'm going to speak to you guys, and then everyone out there that's watching on Facebook, you can be a fly on the wall, but I'm here to mentor the integral mentor mentees. There's a lot of mentors in there, isn't there? So we're here to do this work together, and you guys can watch as a fly on the wall. So why mindset, right? This mind that we have is the most powerful tool that we have, right? It is absolutely the most powerful tool. There is a misconception, there is a belief that the mind is somehow contained inside the brain. That is not true. That is not true. And science is showing, do you guys know that there's neurons, like neurons from your brain, in your gut, in your intestinal tract? Put your hand up if you knew that. They have found neurons in your gut, okay? The mind is not contained in the brain. And a lot of people, and even in the word in Russian, golova, means head, brain, and mind. It's the same word. Maybe there's a deeper mind, psychological term or something, but from what I understand, we put this thing together and we believe that the mind is just contained here. It's not. The mind is an energy field that is a part of this system that we are living in, right? So we have the physical body, and then lighter than that, we have the mind. And we don't understand how it all works potentially, but the mind is something that we can have control over when we recognize that it is a part of us, just like our body is a part of us, just like our arms are a part of us, just like I can project sound through my voice, and that's a part of us. So once we recognize that we can use this tool of the mind to create anything we want, it doesn't run havoc in our life. And instead we can use it as the tool that it's designed for in the creative process, because we are creators, right? We are mini gods and goddesses. We are creators of our own reality. Now, after how many years of doing this, and I'm sure that after how many years of living your life, you realize that when your mind is in a good place, your mind is going to win the day, right? No matter what you got to do, you're going to get up, you're going to get in a state, and you're going to create. You guys agree with this? When your mind is in a great place, you're going to win. Who's ever had that time where your mind is in a terrible place and you're unable to get out of bed or off the couch? Right? We've all been there, okay? It's inevitable that that is going to happen again. It's like saying that you've been caught in the rain before. Are you going to get caught in the rain again? Of course you're going to get caught in the rain. I don't care if you walk around for the rest of your life carrying an umbrella. That one moment when you leave the umbrella in the car, oh, I just got to run the shops quickly. You're going to run out and it's going to be raining, right? It is inevitable that you're going to get caught in the rain again. That's part of the deal. So it's inevitable that we are going to have moments where our mind is not going to be in a place that it's where we want it to be, where it's not going to serve us. So we want to be really coming at this from an understanding and a recognition that there's going to be ups and downs. That's part of the deal, right? There's going to be times where this is going to be very, very difficult emotionally, life, right? And as soon as we are taking a position as a leader in life and we are leaning in with a commitment to grow, to expand. You guys have all seen, especially the older guys and you guys, this idea of your comfort zone. And then everything outside of your comfort zone, just around your comfort zone, is your learning zone, right? So everything new that you want to do is inside of that learning zone, which makes it inevitably uncomfortable because it's out of your comfort zone. Outside of the learning zone is your overwhelm zone. We don't want to be playing in the overwhelm zone, because as soon as you get to the overwhelm zone, what happens? I don't know if I can do it. You get freaked out, you get overwhelmed, right? The key to rapid expansion is to play on the edge of the learning zone and the overwhelm zone, but don't dance in the overwhelm zone too much. But I guarantee on every single one of us, our journey, we've already been there, and likely you'll get there again sometime in your life. So we need to recognize that there is a threshold between expansion into the next version of me and the overwhelm zone that cripples us and it's like an athlete pushing too hard and spraining an ankle, or hurting the hamstring, right? And then they can't train for the next 3 days or 3 weeks or whatever it is because they pushed a little bit too far. That goes for us as well. And so when we're out there standing in our power to be a leader, and when we're getting out there and putting ourselves out there to share who we are, this is a very vulnerable experience. Are you guys with me on that? Who feels a little vulnerable sometimes when you put your hand up and say, I'll do it. I'll help. I've got some wisdom that I can help you with. It's vulnerable, right? And yet we know we have to do it because of our commitment to growth, because of our commitment to service, because of our commitment to be the person that we're here to be, right? Inevitably, nice, AJ, got the hand up. Inevitably, that's what we signed up for. Are you guys with me on that? We all signed up because we know we're here to grow, we're here to give, we're here to serve, and we're here to become the vision that we have inside of ourselves. And I believe we were gifted that vision from something beyond the mind, but actually from spirit. Are you guys with me on that? That vision is gifted to us from the great ultimate source of love, consciousness of who we are, whatever language you want around that. And that's gifted to us. And now it's our job on the hero's journey, through the tools that we're given of the body and the mind, and that third element is soul. Think and Grow Rich talks about when 2 minds come together, there's a third mind created. Who's read Think and Grow Rich, the book? Who practices Think and Grow Rich? Meaning you have a set of goals that you're very clear on, and you visualize and you take action to get there. Yes, perfect, guys. So if you don't have your hand up yet, go and grab an audio version. Personally, I love the audio version of Think and Grow Rich, right? And put that shit on repeat, okay? Put it on repeat, but don't just listen to it, pause it and apply it. But what he talks about in Think and Grow Rich is when 2 minds come together, a third mind is created. I believe the same is true for who we are as a spiritual being in this physical plane, is when you're gifted with a body and a mind, a third element, which is soul, comes into existence. Now, we don't have to get into the spiritual aspects of all of this. We go back and forth. What do they say? Don't talk about religion and politics. So we're not talking about either of them, but we are talking about spirituality. That third element, that soul, is who we are as spirit, comes in and embodies the body, mind, and soul. And that creates the ultimate power that flows through us. That's like the Trinity. Okay. So what do we get to do with that? Is we get to then, through our hero's journey, our striving, our overcoming, is that seed that's given to us, that vision of who we are, gets to be recognized and realized. Are you guys with me so far? This is going to be difficult, inevitably, inherently difficult, right? We have to struggle. Craig right now has dropped. How many kilos have you dropped, mate? Since jumping in? Oh, you're muted. Oops, I muted you at the same time you unmuted. Sorry, dude.
I am close to about 20 kilos now. I'm really pushing hard. The kilos are starting to get harder to come off. So,
dude, that is so fantastic. Hey, those guys that are new, this is the way that we celebrate. So we get the magic fingers and we sprinkle love right on that man right there. So everyone give it to Craig, 20 kilos. Yeah. Oh. Bro, that is so cool. That is so Craig is a leader of men, and he's on the mission to rise into that strength and that certainty to lead men. So he's owning his body, kettlebells every day. I'm seeing the workouts now on Instagram heaps. But can you tell us, Craig, when you're doing all these workouts, is it a struggle? Is it hard?
Yes, it's hard. Throw a 16 kilo kettlebell. That's tough. Some of the exercises are harder than others, but that's the way it is.
That's the way it is, right? Are there days where you just don't want to do it?
Oh, of course. Particularly the days where I had a big day on the road. It's like, oh, I don't want to do this. 7 o'clock at night, 7:30, I've got to work out. I've got to keep it accountable. I don't want to work out. I want to go to bed,
But you get it done.
But I've got to do what I've got to do. And if I don't do it, I've got to start again. And all my hard work's gone.
Love it. Love it. So we recognize this when it comes to something physical. Now, emotionally, and our spiritual expansion is no different. No different. And again, for those guys that have been around for a while, so you know this already, we've spoken about it, but especially for those that are new, there will be times on your journey of expansion that you will not want to lift the kettlebells. Okay. You will not want to get out there and share yourself. You will not want to do the next thing that you have to do to share yourself with the world. You're going to want to cry. You're going to want to freak out, and you're going to want to go and hide away somewhere when nobody can see you. Right? Who's ever experienced that in their lives before? Right? Yes, exactly. And because now we are in a stage where we are committed, like Craig, he's committed to 75 hard, right? And it's a commitment. There's an accountability to it, because we've all put our hand up and said, look, I recognize I'm a leader. I recognize I can help other people. And by golly, I'm going to claim my freedom. I'm going to be the person I'm here to be, and not just my freedom to, print money from the internet and live this life I'm here to live, but freedom to be myself, freedom to do what I want to do and share how I want to share. Because we've now made a commitment, there is an accountability to showing up. But your mind is going to want to hold you back, right? Your mind is going to want to stop you. That's going to happen if it hasn't happened already, right? That's going to happen. So what are we going to do about it? And that's what these Mindset Mondays, like, this is a bit of an intro and a bit of a preach, but I want to be working with you, like coaching and supporting and helping you to unpack that stuff. And that's what these sessions are going to be about, which will give us more space on our Thursday deep dive mentoring calls, where we actually get to work on the business aspects. And so, and again, Penny, you came on just after I was recognizing you for this inspiration, where we said, look, rather than us checking in, doing a lot of the mindset stuff, I've now created a separate space for that. And then Thursdays we can get to work, right? And we can, okay, what are we doing? What's the strategy? Where are we at? There's going to be stuff there that comes up as well, inevitably, but I want to be diving deep with you guys here and actually doing the work. And look, the final piece before I open this up, and I want to start to work with some of you guys, like if you're up for that. Look at my dog wants to get out. Hey, you think you're missing out on something? She's so cute. I love it. That's Shepard. You'll see a lot of her. Is this piece about body and mind and how they are connected. Like I was talking about neurons in the gut. So straight away, if there's neurons in the gut, when we put food in our mouths, do you think that that's affecting our mental state? Right? Of course it's affecting our mental state. We know that. Not only do we know that from a chemical place, like science shows us, if you put a certain thing in, it changes the hormones in your body. Chemically, it changes your body, right? But I also believe from a vibrational place, if you're putting in very low vibrational food, that's going to drop your energy and you're mentally going to feel like shit, right? You guys agree with that? But then what Craig's doing right now by moving his body is allowing him to change his mental state as well. So one of the most important things that we need to do is to create rituals around physical, and not just physical activity, but owning our physicality, owning the vehicle that we are in, right? This body and mind together, right? Thank you so much, V. So this is where we got to do is we have to, you have to, I have to create a ritual of physical activity. Now, whether you're like Helen and you like to go toe to toe with the boys with a bit of boxing, which I absolutely respect, or you want to be doing a yoga practice or going for long walks in the forest or hitting a HIIT training, high intensity interval training, it doesn't matter. You've got to find what works for your body, but you have to commit to getting your body to a place. I know Tora loves her yoga and the weights because I see it on Facebook, right? I'm a bit like Tora. I like to mix it up as well. Whatever it is, hey, there's two of you. That's very cool. There's one sitting at home and there's one walking around in the field. I love it.
The other one is watering the vegetables. So
Perfect.
Sorry.
That's awesome. So this is where we're at. We have to own our bodies. We have to get physical. Okay. So I'm not going to ask you what your physical practice is, but I'm going to ask you to commit that if you are committed to being a leader, you have to commit to a daily practice. And, you miss a day here or there and Sunday and whatever, life's life, right? But you've got to make it a ritual. Can everyone agree that by making a ritual of your physical activity, that will enhance your mind and your ability to get into a state where you can serve more people. Can everyone agree to that? Yes, perfect. Good, I love it. Thank you. Can you keep your hands up if you agree to committing to a physical practice every day, you know, maybe Sunday, but every day to get your mind to a place where you can do what you're here to do? Yes. For those people that don't have your hands up yet, I'm just guessing that your hands are tired from lifting weights yesterday. Okay, cool. Everyone's hands are up. Perfect. So guys, this has to be a non-negotiable in your life. Okay. If you want to know that you can wake up every day and drive the race car of your body and mind across the finish line of the goals that you set, you need to be getting in there and you need to be tweaking it, right? You know, like the race analogy, you got to be taking it to the pits every morning for 45 minutes or at, 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the boxing class is on, Helen, whatever it is, right? You got to be taking it to the pits and you got to be working on it. And you got to be getting your body really like sharp, okay? So that when you jump in there and you commit through your mind to an action that you're going to take, your body knows how to react because you tell it how to react. Because when you say, do 10 sun salutations, the body goes, right? That was me this morning. Or the body goes, I got half an hour of swinging these bloody heavy kettlebells. And your mind says, that's what we're doing right now. Your body goes, swing the kettlebells, right? Because you've trained it to do what you tell it to do. Are you guys with me? Like the race car analogy, when the driver goes like this, the race car goes, what? And makes the corner at 300 kilometers an hour, whatever it's doing, right? It's tweaked, it does it. It's not a rickety old Volkswagen that you turn the wheel and then 3 seconds later, the wheels start turning. You don't want that. You want it to be on point. So by training your body to react how you want it to react, and look, I do a balance of yoga because opening my body is very important. I have that sort of body type. I think yoga is good for all of us, but I have a body type where if I don't, my body's very reactive. I'm very flexible naturally. So I have to do that. And I have to balance it with strength training because my mind especially responds to strength training. So whatever it is that you need to do, you need to find a physical practice. Okay. All right. I'm going to leave it at that because this is going to be a long journey together. But I want to jump in with some of you guys, and especially for those guys that have been around for a while, and for the new guys too, if you're up for it. But and again, I don't know how to do this because I've never done it before. I'm just jumping in and having a go. But where are you guys at with your mindset? Who in the last week has come up against an opportunity where you've recognized that your mind is holding you back from doing what you wanted to do? Did you notice the languaging I just used? Veronica, oh, hello. Did you notice the languaging I just used though, before we jump in with Veronica? Yes. About who's had an opportunity where you've noticed awareness that your mind has held you back from doing something that you wanted to do. What's an opportunity other than an opportunity, right? To learn, to grow, to do something differently, right? Who's noticed with their own awareness? Because awareness is the first step of transformation, true or not true. If you're not aware of it, you can't do anything about it, right? So now we have opportunities where once we may have had blocks. Because sure, shit feels like a block sometimes, right? You guys with me on that? You're like, this is an opportunity. I can't get off the shower floor. Fuck your opportunity. I'm struggling here. I'm in the mirror going, you can do this. You can do this. You got to do it, right? There's no opportunity in this. This is hard, right? But if I can train myself to notice that there's an opportunity, crisis in Chinese is where opportunity. What is crisis again? It's opportunity or danger and opportunity, right? Where there's a danger and there's an opportunity to grow. So when there's that crisis moment, there's always an opportunity if you're willing to look for it. So again, who's noticed an opportunity where your mind has held you back from doing what it is that you wanted to do? Anyone? Yeah, cool. Does anyone want to unpack that a little bit with me? Fuck, all the hands go down. Maria, yeah?
I'm happy to. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you go, Tora.
You sure?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, we're up with you next, Maria. Thank you.
Yeah. So
You're on, Tora.
thanks, Maria. Scotty, yeah. So I'm on. Okay. After our session, and see the monkey mind. Oh, not now, and I'll do it later, and I need to do it perfect, and write the fucking post 6 times when they've just been flowing over the last 3 months, and sort of getting back into the sort of like I was really hedging up, but this sort of hedging, I could see it hedging down. And yeah, and then I was just like, last night I was like, no, tomorrow morning, that's it, that's a week away, that's it. So it's just so much in the old cycle, and even like just weird and bizarre dreams. But yeah, I just really got up early, did my rituals, did my journaling, and really questioning like, what is it meant, what is this whole essence showing up in every way. So and just really feel the fear, do it anyway, and just do it, and then feel into that new space, because it's just, I've been wanting to do this for 10 years, and why the hell haven't I done it,
Yeah, beautiful. So when you noticed yesterday that you caught yourself procrastinating and writing it 6 times and blah 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 blah, how did you feel about that awareness?
I beat myself up first.
Yeah.
But then it's like, for me, it was like it's like burying a bit of the old, and just realizing that, for me, it's a new, I think like what we're doing now is probably the first time in my life I've actually done something and come through and done something for me, where normally, someone's sick or something, I help someone out or do something for someone else, or, just actually to put that as a priority. So I have to train myself, but I also have to train my family. And that's really, and what I'm doing is not really work. I'm sitting on my butt. I should be out in the garden. I should be out, it's just like every part of my consciousness and my nervous system is just being retrained. And in that moment, just really observing. And first I sort of beat myself up and said, oh, here we go again. The same thing happened. I said, no, this is part of the process, and owning it. And then just tomorrow morning, it's non-negotiable. It goes out. That's it.
And it went out?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course it did. Of course it did.
Of course it did.
You got it done. You made a commitment. So it's really cool. You went into the cycle of beating yourself up, which who else beats themselves up sometimes when, shit's not going plan? Yeah, it's not just me, right? If I had a third arm, it would be up as well. Right? You beat yourself up a bit, but then you recognize that there was cycles, there was a habit there. And it sounds like you had a bit of an internal dialogue about, I'm doing this for me. I've wanted this for 10 years. This is mine. And you coached yourself through it. You made a commitment to action. You probably would have taken that action immediately, but it was late at night, right? And then as soon as the action was ready to take, then you got it done. So you went through a complete cycle of transformation where you noticed, you were aware of it. You were aware of the old pattern. You beat yourself up as well. And then you committed to new behavior. So you reinforced, you committed to new behavior, and then you took new action, which has now got you a new result. That's fucking awesome. You did it.
Yeah. And the most awesome thing, and it's just really coming to light, is that what I'm doing now is, and you talked earlier about that vision piece, that visualization that I do every morning at the end of my meditation.
Yeah.
That manifestation. And, and what I am creating now is actually sort of the tipping point of all of those years of just dreaming it and thinking it and wishing it. And like, I'm actually here. And now not just, I so much am the observer in my life, but actually step into it and to feel it. So that's my next challenge, to really feel it and feel alive by it. And, our chat the other night, like I just felt so alive.
Cool.
And stepping into that essence.
Yeah, mate, you got so much to share with people. Like, this is the beauty of you, Tora, and, everyone here being a leader. There's just so much there is, and I talk about this a lot. What you're doing is not what most people do. Like, it's not normal, right? It's not normal for the normal people. So even you getting out there and sharing with people this moment that you just had last night, like, that's huge for other people to say, wow, I can do that. I can catch myself. I could coach myself. I could commit to new action. I can take new action. I can get a different result. Like, you got to get out there and share that. And I'm going into, some strategy here, but please, you're so self-aware. And let's have a look at why you're self-aware. You mentioned that after my practice this morning, right? I got up and I did this. You got a movement practice, you got a journaling practice, you got a visualization practice, and that's a non-negotiable morning starter for you, right?
That's right.
And how have you found that those three things, movement, journaling, so self-reflection, and then the visualization, how do you find that's able to impact your creative ability in the world?
I mean, it's, you know, we're not bulletproof, but in this time it's kind of made me bulletproof, because everything that comes from the outside kind of bounces off if I have that little reset button every morning to connection to self and my essence and what I stand for and who I am. And then, you know, everything else is negotiable, but that is just not negotiable.
Yeah, I love it. So good. Yeah, that is so good. Awesome. Yeah, perfect. Well, you're on the journey, you know, you're just kicking massive goals. You're kicking massive goals. And yeah, there's not a whole lot of coaching around that because you've already completed the cycle. And did everyone get the cycle right? Like Tora's caught it, boom, aware, boom, going through the old patterns. All right, is this who I want to be? Is this how I want to show up? No. You know, why am I doing this? Going back to the reason why, committing to new behavior and then doing it. You did well.
Yeah.
Anything?
Someone asked, Craig, do I make my bed every morning? Yes, I do, sir. First thing.
And I polish my boots.
No. My dad was in the German army, and he said it's the one thing. But with that, he learned to do everything that's uncomfortable first. It served him well. So there you go, brother.
It's also a very powerful mental health exercise to ignite that movement every day, because then you got something to be grateful for right there and then.
I achieved. Yeah, I accomplished something. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Tora, thank you, darling. Thank you for sharing that. That's really, really cool. A very big win.
Yeah. And thank you, Swati, and thank you everybody for holding space. And, you know, 6 months ago, I would have never even spoken up like this. So I really thank you all from the depth of my heart.
You're amazing. You are amazing. And a week out, every day on camera now. Every day on camera.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Every day sharing your message with the world. And 6 months ago, you would have run away screaming. Now you're like, right, keep doing it. Yeah, but every day now, yeah?
Yep, every day. Yep.
Oh, perfect. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you, Tora. Thank you for the inspiration with the veggies too. I'd love to see some more shots of that, some more pics of what you're growing.
The beds are only 70 meters long and under irrigation system at the moment. So, and it would have a hot day today.
Yeah, right. Did you say 70 meters?
Yeah.
All right, grow some food.
Yeah, well, we pretty much are off grid, so that and we're family of 5 plant based, and we're all very active, so it takes a lot to feed us.
Gotta eat. Yeah, that's awesome. Inspiration. And for those guys that are new, Tora is a life architect. She's created the life that she wants to live, how she wants to live it, and she helps others to step into the power and the vision to be able to, and with the tools to be able to create the life that they want to live themselves. So who else would want 70 meters of veggies growing in their backyard right now, living off grid up in the mountain somewhere? Oh, yes, please. With all the animals and yep. So good. So good. All right, let's keep going. Let's get into it. Maria, we're going to come over to you, and thank you for opening up that space for Tora.
Hey.
Hello, Dale.
I've just posted my video right now. It's actually uploading.
Okay. Which
because
video?
I've been.
You've been Tony Robbins. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've also been procrastinating, just putting it off, going, fuck, it's not perfect. And so I got on the camera yesterday. I was in the car with the kids and Andrew actually, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's never going to be perfect. Perfectly imperfect. I don't care. I'm just going to do it. And so I got over that fear.
Cool.
And I'm like, that's just a story. It's an illusion. You know, coming out of Tony Robbins, I still have that energy. Yeah. Courage being one of my values, newfound values. I'm like, nah, it's in alignment with my purpose. my purpose is, purpose of my life is to be inspirational, enjoy an abundant life, and be a blessing for myself and others. And what I'm doing, that's in line with that's in complete line with my values. So that just gave me the push to go, do it, just do it. And I didn't even go through it. I edited just to add another piece just for the action part. But otherwise, before I would have gone, nah, that's not right. Got to do it again and probably do it like 50 million takes, take 2 hours.
Yeah.
So
Got it done.
Yeah.
So in that moment that you said, nah, screw it, I'm just doing it. What changed? How did you get to that point where you just like, I've just got to do it now? Did something happen?
Yeah. Courage. Courage is one of the things that I want to ground in me, just because I have this newly found, the way I was doing life was based out of fear, and it's all been an illusion. And so I don't want to have that pattern in my life anymore. So I was like, I'm feeling it, if I can't, then I must. I just completely interrupted that pattern. I just went, fuck it, just do it.
You got it done. Well done. Yeah, completely interrupted the pattern.
Yeah.
When you talk about fear and realizing that it's an illusion, and I put this to the group, who else has realized with all of the fear in the airwaves now that most of the fear that we experience in our lives is a complete illusion? Anyone else? Realizing that is just complete bullshit, and it's a story that has been conditioned into the psyche, conditioned into our consciousness through media, through, movies, through culture, through, anyway, and even, especially in Australia, we've got that, our culture is a very interesting one. But yeah, and now we're realizing, like you said then, Maria, fuck it, it's bullshit. I'm just doing it anyway. What's the worst? Is a tiger going to come out and get me if I make this post? If I share my heart with the world, is someone going to come and hurt me because of it? Like, that's the only real fear that there is the tiger's going to get me in the wilderness. That's a fear, and that's a real fear. But me making a post on Facebook about who I am and what I stand for, and then there's a fear there, we got to call bullshit on that, right?
Totally. Yeah.
So that's very
cool. I even said it on the video as well. I was like, I was being vulnerable, it was like, this is how I'm feeling. I've been putting it off, but I'm just going to go for it because it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to have the perfect timing.
Yep.
And I'm just going to do it. And so I did it, blah, 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 and did it.
Perfect. And so as soon as you honor that in yourself, as soon as you honor that in yourself, that, hey, look, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm doing it anyway. And what does that do for your audience, your ideal client, who is that family that is thinking about stepping into being a home educator? What do you think what permission does that give them?
Yes, it gives them permission to step up as well. My whole post was around my vulnerability and my experience of when I started my home education journey. How we were just a mess, and and now it's just starting conversation, going, you guys aren't alone. I was there. Let's talk about it. Let's have a chat. How can I help you? So,
yeah, exactly. And they don't have to be perfect. They can get in, make it messy, but get into action, have a go. So I would encourage you then, Maria, to have a look at, again, this situation that you just went, but next time you hit that little like mental, I don't know if I can, there's a mist of fear in front of me, and you're saying you're tapping into courage, see if there's a set of rituals that you will create in order to recognize that there is a mist of fear that's that invisible barrier of fear that's holding you back. And then you stepping back in awareness and saying, okay, cool, there's something here. Notice the rituals. Tony talks about creating your power move, NLP style, where they do that, if that's your thing, or whatever it is that you do. You want to get out, dog. Whatever it is that you do, see if you can, again, ritualize that moment so that every time it comes, you've got something that you do to get through it. Me, I stand up. I got daggy pants on here, but I stand up and I'm just like, I got this, I can own this, and I prance around like, martial arts is my background. So I prance around like I'm going in the ring, like I'm going to go and fight an opponent, because that gives me that like, because then it just fires me up. I want to win. And I get in the mirror if it's really tough, you know, I get in the mirror and then I have that conversation with myself in the mirror. It's like, you've got this, Scotty. This is who you are. This is what you were born for. You know, 5-star jumps, boom, exactly. You know, and then I have that conversation in the mirror and I get it and I get to the center. It doesn't mean that it's all gone, but it means that I can overcome it, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to be fearless to jump. I just have to have more capacity than what the fear is limiting, right? So I've got to be able to overcome that. So see if you can find the rituals, what work for you.
Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of things all over my walls. Like I've got my values, what courage means for me.
Yeah.
Anytime I feel, you know, like I'm tensing up, and how I can overcome it. So it's like, yeah, my journal, my power moves. So
Yes.
yeah, I've got a whole thing
Yeah, that's awesome.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. And again, you got to, there's not just about, because I've done all that and I've had it on my walls as well. You got stuff on the walls everywhere, but it's the, what can I do about it? What's the actions that I'm taking? And I guess more than anything, that's what you're saying is now it's action time. I have to take action. Like I had half an hour this morning, because Andre's sick and we haven't slept very well. I had half an hour this morning to get everything done before I had 3 calls, well, 2 calls and then this training. In that half an hour, I was able to put out a post, send an email to 2,000 people, respond to like half a dozen messages, and then take my first call in half an hour. Because I looked at it and I said, what is the non-negotiables that have to be done this morning before I get it? Well, I need to do my marketing and I need to respond to my leads. These are the things that have to be done before I go into, you know, the next 4 hours, and then Australia goes to sleep after, because I've got a small window of time. So it's you guys have got to really focus on, and this is where you got to train your mind, is you've got to act now, right? What do I need to do now? I could have procrastinated like shit to write that email and then put that post out, but I don't have time to do that. It has to be done immediately. So getting yourself to that place where you just know that this is, I can just command myself. Tony Robbins thing, right? I now command my body and mind, right? Whatever the rest of it is. You'd know it. You just went through it. What's the statement he says? I now command my body and mind to do whatever it needs to, I need to do. I can't remember. Anyway, it's about being able to just do what needs to be done, regardless if you want to do it anyway. Like Craig 7:30 at night, I'm in accountability and I'm going to get it done. And that's definitely where courage is going to come in. All right, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. You're awesome. So meandering a little bit, but that's okay. And I agree with Craig's comment there. It's less fear, not fearless as a singular word, right? I don't think in this reality that we'll ever get rid of fear completely. It has to be there. It's hardwired into us, but it's recognizing that the fear has a place where it can support, and the fear has a place where it will harm us. And because it can be used against us, and I believe that that is what has happened over generations, to make us feel small, to make us conform, to make us fit into a certain box. And like, as I said, right now, you can recognize it more than ever. You just have to turn on any media device, you know, unless it's my Facebook wall, which is really cool. I don't know how Facebook does it, but they bring me all the positive messages. It was really awesome. Very grateful. But anyway, you know that it's being used against us. So recognize then, it's okay, cool, I'm in charge. This is my life. What am I going to do about it? Who am I really? How am I here to show up? All right. And then it's boom, what's the next thing that I need to do to be me? And I think that's why we're here, guys. I think we're just here to be ourselves. Pretty much. Can you guys, I don't know the meaning of life, but if there was a meaning to my life, it's just to be myself fully, right? And I talk about being transparent for God to shine through, which my mind, God is love with a big L, sometimes with all LOVE, like, but a capital L. I think that's the essence of, you know, great spirit. So to be transparent for love to shine through, right? I just want to be myself. I just want to be transparent for love to shine through. Just use me as a channel for love to shine through. You guys with me on that? And then all of the, like the little, you're not good enough, or you can't do it, or, you know, it's really that feeling, right? Becomes so secondary, because my mission is just to be myself fully, to be transparent and let love shine through. And then the question really is to be myself fully. The primary question that we ask ourselves every day is, who am I? Do you guys ask that question? It's not just me that's been asking that question for 20 years, right? You guys are asking that question every day too. Who am I? Who am I? What is this, right? Like, who am I? So then if I'm presupposing, well, I'm just here to be myself fully, but who am I? And I'm here to be transparent for love to shine through. Well, am I love? Let me spin around that question for a while, right? Am I here to be love? Am I just here to be myself fully? Am I here to be love? Got that message last week. Remember who you are. Exactly. And then just be myself, right? And so then this body and mind, this tool that I've been given, is the tool for me to express who I really am. And if I am great spirit, if I'm a drop of the ocean, and the ocean of love, the ocean of bliss, the ocean is great spirit, the ocean is love, and then, through precipitation, I'm being drawn up to then rain down, and then to go back to the ocean of bliss when I pass from this body and mind, and then I be drawn back up through precipitation back into the into the sky of love to then cycle. Very interesting. I think how's this? I actually feel if I get too preachy, my voice stops. It's something I'm becoming aware of. I'm talking more than listening, and then my voice stops. Isn't that fascinating? Because I do get preachy. I get on my high horse sometimes, and I want to tell you rather than listen to you. And then my voice stops. Isn't that interesting? That's really very fascinating. So let me stop preaching on you, because you didn't come here to be preached on. It's like this, the person in the sermon, right? You're going to preach on top of everybody because I'm on the lectern, I'm on the stage. And I apologize for that. So let me ask you guys, let me take the question back to you. What's up with your mind? Does anyone want to connect and share? What's going on for you? Veronica, bring it in.
So just generally what's on my mind, in terms of mindset, is that what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. What's coming up for you? Where are you going with it? How's it working? How's it
I was just realizing today that because since lockdown and then selling the business, I haven't really had much structure, right? And I had all this extra time. And I was thinking today, I'm just over having all this time. I'm ready to go to work and do some work. But in that, also I'm finding how I'm avoiding the things, right? Because I have all this time. Craig is looking at me thinking, what the hell? This is, I don't know what that is. He's going, I have no time, man.
He's still getting it done.
So I'm just finding that in that, I finally did the things that I was procrastinating. I was talking to Eliza this morning and saying how I decided between 9 and 11 to do the things that I avoid the most, right? So that I get that good sense of, okay, what I'm avoiding the most, I now finish. So I already feel great and I can flow for the rest of the day.
Cool.
Because up to this point, I was feeling like my main goal was to float all day and feel great. And, because I have all this time and I've got kids at home, and it's like, okay, well, I'll just cook the dinner and I take care of the house and I do the minimal of what needs to be done. And I'm getting to that point where that is no longer feeling good, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, what do you do when you don't have to have, you don't have the structure because you're working for yourself? How do you keep yourself accountable? I guess I've done the thing with the cycle. So really for the next 3 months, outline where I'm in my cycle so that I know what I want to focus on each week, so that I am supporting myself the best that I can. So I finally done that also, rather than just talking about it, and that was really good. But now it's really I guess I don't like being rigid either, and that's why I find if I get to do those things first thing in the morning that I'm avoiding, then I can feel good and I can do the things that I'm allowing myself to do. Kind of, it's just a bit easier. But outlining in a calendar and doing it, it's one thing, right? Like, and then actually executing another thing. So
Yeah, exactly. And I love what you're saying. May I share some feedback?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What you're saying about I want structure, but without the rigidity. Like, and I imagine even, and sorry for the frame of reference here, but a water drop has structure in that it stays together as a water drop, but it also has the fluidity that it can move and adjust to the circumstances of its environment. Like Bruce Lee said, if you put water into a cup, it'll take the form of the cup. So when the environment changes, which the environment changes, it changes when the moon changes, it changes astrologically, let alone with interactions in your daily life, that trigger that, spirals you down into something, the environment will change, but we're still able to create some structure where we know, like you've said, you're mapping out, okay, these are the steps that I want to take to be the person that I'm here to be. And I think when we are mapping that out, we shouldn't do anything that we should, but it's beneficial if we look at, I think for people like us, is who do I want to become rather than what do I want to achieve?
Yes.
Right? Like, I want to be the person that gets to be free to serve a gorgeous community on the internet, and I get to do that full time with an abundance of wealth flowing into my family, so that I can be the person who, whatever your dreams are with your family, right? Like for me, to be the person who builds our family home on our land, right? So I'm becoming that person that gets to serve these beautiful people, or beautiful people here, to be able to be the man, the husband, the father that builds that home. So my goal now isn't to build a business where I've got X number of clients and X number of revenue. I'm very uninspired by that. And I look at the industry that we're in, and everyone else out there that is doing something similar that I do is all money focused. And last week I had that freak out where I was like, oh, we got to focus on all money and all that sort of stuff. And I've got to reflect a lot more. It is part of the journey, and it's definitely a necessary part, but I'm uninspired where it won't drive me long-term. But who I'm becoming, and asking that question, who am I, right? Like, who am I? Who do I want to be? Who am I becoming? So that gives me the structure. So who, and I guess I pose this to you, is who do you see yourself as when you are holding that space for your community, right? When you are standing up and serving and helping people to transform. And then outside of that, who are you in your family as a contributor, as, being able to be present with them because you have the time, because of the leverage, being able to contribute to, be the mum that gives the kids these experiences because you have the financial means, etc. So getting clear on that picture.
I think that's the bit that I focus on every day. That's just naturally comes to me.
Yeah.
But I think what has been stopping me and what has become obvious is where I haven't been doing my part, which is the non-negotiable, and be really clear of what the non-negotiable is, because the bit that you just described comes naturally to me. I live for that. But then what doesn't, and what I have to sort of and figure out how I'm going to hold that up, is the non-negotiable. And for me, those are those two things that I said, that what Tora was sharing as well, is the morning practice. If I don't do my morning practice, and to me that's straight away, if I have my morning practice, then I have my structure, and then everything else, it's a bonus kind of thing, right? Because it all comes from there. And I can go 3 months on, and I can be a month off, and then I lose myself. And it's like, how do I keep it so that it's constantly on? And I think it's remembering the bit that you were saying. It's remembering the vision and going, well, without this, the non-negotiable, that vision, it's going to take much longer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, I think what Craig was saying, it's like all the work that I have done now, it's like, oh, it's undone and I'm starting again, and it's just slowing the whole process.
Yeah, totally. So your vision's clear, which is great, but it's a vision not on external, but it's on internal, which is really great. So you got the external there as well, but it's very much about who you're becoming. Now you're saying coming back to the foundation, which is your practice. So what am I doing every day to build me? That's setting the foundation. And then I would say you got to put some like framing around it of what are the daily actions that are going to bring you the result of that person that you become. So you need to be marketing every day. You need to be engaging with the audience.
Yeah.
Like I've got it in my habit tracker. Geez, would you believe it? It came up just as I don't know if you guys can read that. See if it's
No. Oh, yeah.
what does that
Send an
say?
email.
Oh,
Send an email. Oh, it's gone.
no, it'll come on back. Here we go. Oh, there. Add
Make a
massive
written
value.
post, film a video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one of my non-negotiables that I actually have in my habit tracker every day.
Right.
That I've
Yeah.
got meditate. I've got my morning yoga practice. I've got my afternoon strength training. I've got add
Mhm.
massive value to my audience, send an email, make a written post, film a video, go live, add value to my tribe. Right?
And that's daily.
Every day. Well, now, do I meditate every day? No. Sometimes I don't get to meditate. I miss out. Do I read a book every day? No, but these are habits that I'm doing my best to be a part of my life. Now, I know that
Right.
meditating every day is very beneficial for me. But sometimes I don't get to meditate every day, right? That just happens. So I know adding value to my tribe every day is very important. Do I get to do it every day? No. Sometimes I don't feel like
Okay.
meditating.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
I don't feel like connecting, right? But I know that it's part of the process that I'm on is to do that every single day.
Mhm. Yeah, that's really helpful, that reminder. Yeah, definitely. And knowing that it's not necessarily that you do all the things every day, but this is what you're going for. That's
Yeah.
you want that to become part of your subconscious and to drive you and remind you.
And I'm not perfect. I'm going to slip. This app is called Strides. I just actually moved everything from Strides. I had another one called Habitify. I think I told you guys about Habitify before, but constantly upgrading. I found an app that I can keep my goals broken down into projects. So it's a project, sorry, with like tasks inside it. It's called Strides, like to walk, Strides. And it was like $45 for the year or something. And so I've now got my habits and my goals broken into steps, which is really, really cool. Yeah, so a new one. I just set that up a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, so having the foundation and then having the structure of every day, what do I need to do? And really in our business, you need to be, connecting with your tribe, your audience, whatever word you want to use. I want to grow my audience and connect with my audience. I need to be engaging in conversations with people. So bringing them into, into me, whether that's watching my webinar, whether that's getting them into an inbox. I need to be making sales and I need to be delivering results, right? And as long as I'm doing those 4 things every day, or at least doing my best to do those 4 things every day, and some days there's only 3, some days only 1, depends. But if we simplify it and just know these are the things that have to be done every day, there's my son, then you just focus on getting those things done. And like you said, do it in the morning so that you know it's done, and that sets you up to win for the rest of the day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, Scotty.
Cool. No worries. All right, a bit more work to do around potentially the structure of the business structure, I think is where we got to go with that, Veronica. Right?
Yeah, and that's what I said, like those 2 hours, just do what I've been avoiding.
Yeah. Yeah, do the highest value activities and the hardest. Whatever the hardest thing is. Because usually on the other side of our fear, whatever the fear is, that's where freedom lies. So if you're afraid to go live, if you're afraid to do a live video or a sales call or whatever it is, whatever you're afraid of, that's what you've got to lean into and do. Right? That's the biggest thing, because that's where the biggest growth will come. Cool. Awesome. All right, guys. I'm thinking we're going to wrap in a second. So first Monday mindset. All right. It's a different format. So thank you guys for journeying with me. Look, you got to have a go. You got to have a go. This is what life is about. You got to have a go. I had an idea and I had a go. Has this been beneficial? I think it was a little bit more ranty and preachy, but yeah, you guys getting benefit from this? Cool. Nice. Look, your time is valuable and I only want to be delivering something that's going to help you. So, always give me feedback. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. Everyone's still here, which is great. And thank you for coming last minute too. I think a lot of you guys would have seen this this morning when you woke up and there was a message there from me, right? So well done for making the time. But yeah, is there anyone that needs any support with anything internal mindset related or habits or rituals or anything like that right now? Cool. Everyone's in a good place. Awesome. All right. So for everybody, kettles get heavier on days I don't want to train. That's very true, eh, Craig? Very, very true. Right? It just feels tougher when you don't want to do it. 100%. So yeah, guys, look, thank you for jumping in on Monday Mindset or Mindset Monday. Don't know which one I'm going to call it yet, but I'm going to do this every Monday. I think it's just going to be great just to dive in together and just focus on, okay, what is the stuff that's got to go, you know, or how do I, because you've got the away from and you've got the towards. How do I get rid of the stuff? And, you know, it'd be really great. Like we're all leaders in here. I want you guys to start stepping up and mentoring as well. Okay. And in this space, like I would love for you guys to start unpacking some of the things that you do. So it's not just me, the talking head preaching, which I'm realizing is, you know, not the role that I want to take in my life. It's part of who I am, but I want you guys coming up and sharing, hey, this is working for me. Hey, from a professional standpoint, you know, like Samala coming in and teaching a little bit about, you know, limiting beliefs from hers. Or, you know, you, Veronica, coming in and teaching what you've learned about that, or Maria, what you've just been going through, or Penny, you know, bringing in some of the balancing brain chemistry, or, you know, whomever, bringing your wisdom to this as well is going to be really important. And I want to open up that space for you guys as well to get in here and share. So please don't think it's just the Scotty Z show, which, you know, I can handle, but I want this to be a collaborative effort. So you guys get in here and share as well. Okay. But otherwise, Thursday, we are on 5 o'clock Queensland time. Yeah, and I say this, you know, the old guys know because we're there every week. For the new guys, 5 p.m., okay? We're there. Please come on time. We're 2 hours deep dive, and that's where we're going into the work of actually the business side of it. Now, I'll put a post up in our messenger chat to let everybody know what I would like for you guys to do, but please get in and do the first couple of lessons inside of school. Now, it sounds like I might have to go and approve you in, so I'll go and do that straight after this, but go and start unpacking that first bit and getting ready. The real work starts on Thursday, okay? And that's where we're going to come together. We're going to be checking in. We're going to getting into the work, all right? So we're there on Thursday. If you need anything in the meantime, reach out and messenger. You got me in the chat. And guys, we're moving into the next era of this experience together as well. For the guys, the originals, things are going to be changing a little bit now too. All right. Because you guys are like the seniors and now you've got your juniors coming in, right? To high school. Okay. Or, you know, to whatever this experience, you've been around the block. And over the last, you know, several months together, I've learned a lot about what's needed to get the results as well. So I'm going to be changing it for these guys coming in new too. Because I'm looking at, okay, you know, we've got to get into action faster. We'll go in on Thursday. I won't dive into here, but things are going to change. Okay. Hence all the changes that I've just made recently before bringing these guys in, you know, with changing the name to Integral Mentor. We've now moved into the messenger group, you know, so things are going to change here as well. So be ready for a new experience as we move into this next game. Now, your focus is clear on where you're going in your business. And what I'm bringing is I'm going to be putting the pedal to the metal a little bit more in terms of the action required to get the results. So I want you guys to be coming with an open mind and an open book that it's things are different now. Okay. Things are going to change in a very positive way. Obviously it's the next level. Now that I've opened up for these new guys, wait till you hear these guys share some of the rad, like Marnie. You got to meet Marnie. She's strong. You know, Wendy, I've known for years. Like, this is a powerful grandma energy, you know, superwoman coming right in. AJ, I've known for a few years. Like, this is a literal Indian spiritual guru, like spiritual leader. Like, this guy's incredible. The stuff he's going to unpack with, he was almost a breatharian. Like, he's striving to be a breatharian, right? Like crazy people. We got Logan, who's a men's facilitator, who you're going to meet, like strong, like powerful. Lee, who's what does he do? NLP and life coaching, you know, background with, you know, all of that stuff. Samala, I think you'll like him with the hypnosis. Scott. Anyway, I won't go to everyone. Oscar and Ksenia, like all these beautiful people coming in. So the energy is going to change as well. So be open for that originals, that there's an energy change as well that you guys are going to love. So that's going to be fun. So we'll dive into that on Thursday. Otherwise, have fun. Thank you so much for joining us on a Monday night. I can see the yawns out there as well. I know it's a late night for you guys. So have fun. Anything you need, reach out in Messenger, but otherwise we'll see you on Thursday. Come off mute as normal. Come off mute. Those new guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scotty. See you, everyone.
Thanks, bye.
See you Thursday.
See you Thursday. Thanks, guys.